Ah, shit, man. Now, I really don't have a favorite superhero, but if you put a gun to my head and made me choose, I'd probably say Spider-Man. I guess that makes him my favorite, huh? Never mind that. Anyways, Spider-Man games are definitely the best superhero games by far, way better than that Arkham shit. When Spider-Man 2 was announced, I couldn't wait to swing through New York as Spidey again, and we even get to play as Peter in this one. And I actually played the first two this time, where if you didn't know, I have a really bad habit of picking up games on the sequels, but not this time, and I actually got a lot to say about this one. Spider-Man 2 is very different from the first one in Miles Morales. New things have been added and old things have been removed. Regardless, it's still the Spider-Man game we know and love. I don't even know where to start. The web swinging is great as always, but it's so much faster this time. They even added a swing assist setting to make it more realistic and challenging. And I must say, as somebody who can swing well on both, I prefer to have it on. Work smarter, not harder. People online find a way to make something out of nothing all the time, and swing assist is just another example. Let the people swing how they want to, bruh. Another thing they changed is the swinging abilities is the correct term, I guess. I'll just show you. In Miles Morales, you had to fight and do tricks to be able to do the Venom dash and the Venom jump while swinging. But in Spider-Man 2, you just build it up by swinging. And that in itself makes it so much faster because you can just focus on swinging. There's a couple more new things like the web swing shot and the loop-de-loop, I guess is what it's called. And they both add to your overall speed and acceleration. But the biggest change is the addition of the web wings. To me, the web slingshot feels like a long overdue Spider-Man ability. It's just so simple, but so useful. But the web wings seem to have ruffled some feathers. But not for real, this has been a topic of discussion online too. On one side, you got people like, Spider-Man can't fly. And on the other side, they're like, yes he does, read the comics, blah, blah, blah. And personally, I don't care. If you don't like the wings, bro, don't use them. It's simple as that. People are so soft these days. I actually did a speed comparison to Miles Morales in Spider-Man 2 just to see how much faster it was, and the results might shock you. They spiced up the combat a bit in this one too. Again, adding and subtracting from the system, RP to gadget wheel, and really gadgets in general. I barely use them at all. Partly because there's not very many. I didn't even know there was 4 of them until I started writing this script. And the only one I ever used without it being a complete accident was the Sonic Burst. I'm sure the rest would have been game changing if used correctly, but they're not really necessary. The new abilities, on the other hand, were amazing. I guess this is kind of like a spoiler right here, so you can skip ahead if you want to. But early on in the game, Peter's abilities were kind of lame. Like, they weren't good, but they weren't bad. They were just lame. All the Iron Spider stuff, just, I wasn't feeling it. And I actually refused to use Peter early on, unless the story made me use him, which it did most of the time. Even though we saw all of Miles' early abilities in his game, they were still so much better than the Iron Spider stuff. But late game, when you unlock the Venom abilities, oh, the turns have tabled. Now Miles is the Spidey I'm just not playing with at all, because Peter just feels so much more powerful. Like, Miles has the
exaggerated swagger of a black teen,
but Peter's just coming through, just rocking, you feel me? Like, I don't know how to put it, but yeah, it felt way more satisfying being Peter once you get the Venom abilities. So I guess the famous saying is wrong.
You know what they say, once you go gray, there ain't no other way.
No, not that one. But wait, there's more. We're gonna let the spoiler people come back now, so let's give them a second. All right, so in this one, the Spidey's regular bag is a bit deeper. There's a lot of new moves you can use on your enemies to knock them out a bit quicker. There's one I have to speak on for a moment because I severely underrated it, and that's the directional yank. I saw this in the skill tree and thought to myself, this is completely useless. And I stand corrected. This move, hold up, y'all not hearing me, This move is probably the fastest way to dismantle regular niggas, bro. 3 or 4 shots with the web shooters, and you can throw the ops against the nearest surface and not even have to get within striking distance. 3 seconds max. I was spamming this shit, not gonna lie. There's even a web yank slam that I also never used and forgot it was a thing until I started writing this script. It looks like it might actually be better. Hold up.
Fight back, nigga. Fight back, nigga. Fight back. Fight back, nigga. Fight back, nigga. Fight back!
It actually is better. They added a parry system too, so instead of dodging, you can flex a little bit, hitting goons with the Goku time. There's times where you'll be stopping a random crime and the other Spider-Man will be there to help you. They got some tag team finishers that look pretty cool, not gonna lie. And even some new solo finishers. There's a couple missions where you play as Mary Jane, sneaking around places. Some people didn't like them, but I actually really enjoyed these parts. Even though you're not totally helpless, it did put me on edge and had me really trying to stay concealed. But at the same time, zapping people with her taser is like one of those, yeah, I did that moments, you feel me? And I believe a really good addition to the game. There's more or less important stuff, but I gotta leave some things for you to experience on your own. If you haven't played the game yet and you don't want to be spoiled, you might want to chuck the deuce and get up out of here because I'm about to talk my shit. But make sure you hit that sub button on the way out, gang. Alright, bet they gone. But yo, this story was so dope, bro. You start the game in one of Miles' classes and Peter walks in because he's got a job as a substitute. And after a pretty awkward and embarrassing exchange, they both end up swinging out of there because something big is going down in New York. And it's gonna take double the spider power to handle this shit. The Sandman is out here going crazy, destroying the city. The Spider Gang pull up and they get absolutely bodied. The Sandman is toying with these niggas. He grabs Miles and tosses bro across the city like how I used to shoot trash ball back in middle school. But then he gets back and starts giving Sandy the hands. After a nice thorough spanking, Sandy decides he's about to get up out of there and turns into a fucking sand cloud. Honestly, I'm not too sure how that's possible, but bro skedaddles across the water to another borough and Pete whips out the motherfucking web wings for the chase down. Then Sandman activates his hidden ability and whips up a fucking sandstorm. My nigga is going crazy, tearing up the city with throwing buildings and cars and shit. And Pete is just weaving through that hole like he graduated from Weave Nation. But Sandman's not done yet. He activates his fucking trap card and starts sending out sand-nados. And Peter, continuing to show his ultra instinct, gets straight through that hole. He goes in for a kill shot but gets struck by fucking lightning. Sandman is just super deep in his bag. Like, when the fuck did he get lightning powers? But Miles comes in for the save. Then they use this tag team finisher using lightning to charge up Miles' venom, and he charges up Peter's Iron Spider suit. And they hit Sandman with a fucking repulsor ray straight out of Iron Man's playbook, and it puts him out of commission. After Sandman's incarcerated, he says that the Spiders are gonna need help real soon when they come for you, and he just leaves them boys confused. I do gotta say this real fast. The first mission in this game is better than anything in Spider-Man and Miles Morales. This shit was fucking dope. But then the camera cuts away to a jungle and we're introduced to this game's big baddie, Kraven the Hunter. And just like his name says, this dude is only interested in hunting. He's kind of like an evil Goku. He just wants to fight. And if you put the pieces together, you can kind of assume that this is who Sandman was talking about. But let's be real, did y'all see the shit Sandman was doing, bro? Kraven must have bumped his damn head if he thought he was fucking with that. But Kraven did have that man shook, so maybe. But anyways, after the fight with Sandman, you can actually see the aftermath of the battle with all the sand all over New York, which I think is a pretty cool touch. We learn Peter's broke as fuck and way behind on his mortgage, which is extra bad considering how he'll probably never get another job as a sub again. At least not in Miles School. But right on cue, rich boy Harry Osborn pulls up to the Parker residence with a proposition for his best friend. The two go on a long bromantic bike ride to their old spanking grounds. I would say stomping, but we all know how high school was for Peter.
Hey! Stop the bus!
That's me.
Then we're sucked into a flashback of the two sneaking through the school, and we get to play as Lil Petey. I like this part of the game. I think it was cool to see how the universe of Spider-Man was before really being a hero, sneaking all through the school, avoiding security guards, and shooting hoop before we get snapped back to reality.
Oh, there goes gravity!
And Harry decides to take the bromance up a notch and pop the question. He asks Peter to be his business partner, and just like that, Pete's in a relationship with a rich man, and the money's about to start rolling in. But little does Peter know, one nightmare comes to an end, and the next one is on his way to New York right now. That was really just the game's intro. I'm not gonna go into a full play-by-play, but I really enjoyed the story. We got the classic broke Peter trying to make ends meet while also being a protector of the city when his best friend, who's been gone for a while, comes back into his life with an opportunity to make all his troubles go away and live the life of his dreams, saving the world in a way that he actually wants to. But when tragedy strikes, things turn upside down and Peter literally loses himself. And Miles also struggling to balance school and superheroing as well as college admissions, finding love, being there for his widowed mother, trying to keep Peter in line, all while his father's killer is on the loose. It's really some award-winning shit. Even the side acts got their own thing going on, like Harry on the verge of death, clinging to life with the help of the symbiote, but he gives it up to save the life of somebody he loves, who then turns into a real douchebag and won't give it back. And by the time Harry gets it back, it's all bets off and he wants to smoke. And then there's Craven, who, like I said before, is like a sick, twisted, evil version of Goku in a way. He got the same disease Itachi had, but he's not gonna let it take him out. So he's on a hunt to find somebody with the hands to put him down, and he's fading damn near everybody about it, going on the craziest killer streak in the Spider-Verse. And even MJ has a little bit of story about how it is being Spider-Man's girlfriend and always being in his shadow. And I forgot to write about Venom. My bad. There's so much going on in this story that it feels like Miles takes a back seat. There weren't too many main story missions that revolved around him, but maybe that's okay, because I heard Insomniac's next Spider-Man games will focus on him for now. So maybe this was like a last hurrah for Peter. And if it was, then I think they did a good job. I know as a reviewer, I need to look at games from all angles, but I really don't have anything to complain about with this one. Only thing that comes to mind is the big brute symbiotes are hard as shit to fight, but maybe that's because I played on Spectacular. I died to these big bitches more than every boss in the game combined. The random crimes do get a bit repetitive, like every other Spider-Man game, and it was a little buggy at the beginning, but nothing crazy. And I would have liked a little bit more emphasis on Miles, but it's okay. Overall, I think this was just really a solid game, like really good. It was fun, it was great. If you can't tell by the reviews so far, this game is indeed a masterpiece, but that's just my opinion. Games are supposed to be fun, and this is a fun game. The story will give you every emotion in the book while keeping you hooked on your toes, and as soon as it's all said and done, you'll just swing around the city for hours. This type of game you just keep coming back to just because of how much fun it is. I can't give it anything but a 5. I know that everybody agrees with me, so if you think differently, please let me know in the comment section. I don't really know what game we're gonna do next. I don't really want to do the Starfield thing anymore because that game sucks. We'll figure something out. I'm thinking Alan Wake 2, I don't know. And I might have some one-off gaming videos just because these take a long time to make and I don't really want to go that long without an upload. But if you want to see more of me, you can follow me on Twitch. You know, I go live over there sometimes, at least once a week. But hey, I hope you enjoyed this review, man. Until next time, stay blessed.